Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana has broken out of this ascending wedge pattern to the upside and is now approaching the next resistance levels we highlighted. Next key resistances are here. This is going to be quite a meaningful one at around about $39.80. And then the next one above that level, we can look for around about $48.50 as next targets. So Solana is currently playing out here these scenarios on the weekly chart that we've been talking about. Bigger picture, nothing has changed, absolutely nothing. So we can take a look at the shorter time frame count in a minute. I just wanted to make everybody aware that on the Solana chart in both scenarios, the bullish and the bearish one, ideally higher prices are seen. We've been talking about the weekly chart here for a while. So I intentionally created that one, I think a few months ago, a couple of months ago or so, to inform everybody just about the bigger picture. Yeah, because for many, trading the smaller time frames might not be useful. Okay, the risk when you try to trade every single wave on the smaller time frames is you leave your trade too early. You get worried about smaller time frame movements and so on. Whereas if you trade the larger time frame, you don't need to be worried, and you could have just bought here this long-term support area on the smaller time frame count. We also had a support area here, basically a trend reversal area, which I took off the chart now. That was the June low as well as the September low. And if you just trade the daily or the weekly time frame, I always say it, you don't need to be worried about the perfect entry on the 1 hour chart. And all of those who entered at these trend reversal areas or support areas would now be nicely in profit. Looking at this chart, in the bullish scenario, the chart is now in a third wave. Actually, I need to change the colors. I was just thinking, because on the shorter time frame count, I've got the yellow count is basically, let's say, the bearish one, where we move higher now in a B wave. Okay. And in the bullish one, this is a third wave. And until they complete the third wave, they move together. So basically, this could just simply be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave to form circle wave B, or it is the 1, the 2, the 3, and then we get a 4 and a 5. And this is the, let's say, the very bullish interpretation. That's what we need to deal with next. But yeah, this is sort of the view. This weekly chart shows an all-time high target between $444 to $713. It is a very simplified wave count, but it shows you the roadmap. I will work next on a more detailed count here on the weekly chart to show you how this is subdividing. But this is sort of an ideal target range for an all-time high. This is a moving target, so depending on how the subdivisions are playing out, this can always push higher. I wouldn't say lower in a situation that this is an all-time high scenario. In a situation we get to an all-time high, these can always escalate higher. Okay, so looking at the shorter time frame count, two possibilities we've been tracking for a while. We've been talking about this third wave that is in the making, or the C wave, which is basically this larger B wave. I haven't got that on the chart here, but in the yellow count, which is on the weekly, this B wave. As I said, it plays out as A, B, C. It is basically here also the yellow count, A, B, C. Okay, that's the yellow count, and in the yellow count, we can obviously here still push a little higher. Let me just check something. No, that's all fine. Sorry, I got confused. It is A, B, C. So we have 5 waves to do in the C wave. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, which would be a more direct way higher into the $50 to $60 region, or in the white wave count, but this has become less likely with a push above the ascending wedge pattern. As I said, we will most likely have to focus on the yellow count if we get a more direct breakout above the wedge. Again, both are bullish. And in this count, this is a 1, this is a 2, this is the 3, the 4, the 5. Yeah, and we've been tracking here these bullish scenarios for a while now, and yeah, no change really. The only thing is obviously that this is extending a lot, and therefore I will now take the white micro count of the chart because it has extended too much. So I can still not rule out that this is a wave 1, okay, and we pull back in the wave 2. But the way this is going, it seems like we are reaching this third wave target straight away. And what are the fib levels that we should use? So if we take, that is basically the third wave in the C wave, right? If we take that, so the first key level I would watch is the $43.70 level. That's not really a target for wave 3, but it's typically still a level that prices react to. And that is pretty much where we have this previous swing high region. And above that level, the minimum you would expect for this wave 3 is the $54.30 level. So if we now assume that the yellow count plays out, we should get there. Maybe even higher, okay? Again, as I always say, in a third wave, they can always extend. So don't get too cute with your positions in a third wave. I always say that. Very important in crypto, very important. In the membership, we've got live stream tutorials about these topics, how the waves behave. So if you're interested, you can check that out. Relevant support can be lifted, Fibonacci support, yeah, to $30 now. So as long as we stay above $30, the trend is up. And in the short term, the level you can use is the last swing low at $31.30. That's the key level. If we drop below that level, we have to assume a top is in. And if you want to have a nano support, so this is really, it all depends on what time frame you're trading, against the 50% fib level of just the last move to the upside, you can focus on higher. So that's at $34.80. I always show you these levels because, just to remind everybody, there are hundreds of ways how to trade this, right? I mean, we are clearly in an uptrend. Everybody knows we are either in a third wave or a C wave. How this exactly then subdivides on the smaller time frames, that's what the market decides. There are two pathways here. So far, no pullback has shown. Would have been ideal to get one in the white wave count, but the market alone decides it. No pullback showed. Either way, we are and have been tracking an uptrend for Solana. So some people then get worried about, okay, where do I enter or whatever. See, if the market is gone and you haven't entered in, for example, one of our support regions, then I can't really help you, right? If then no pullback shows after that, then I can't really help you. I can't give you another pullback entry point. You can, however, and we talk about that very often in the membership and live stream tutorials, you can always jump onto a train, but it is more risky and you just have to measure your risk against the stop. And I gave you a few levels that you could use as a stop. Which one you essentially use is of course up to you, because the tighter you set the stop, the more easily you will get stopped out and the higher the likelihood it will still continue to run. But that's where obviously trading skill and strategy comes in, and a proper trading plan. Do you trade breakouts? Do you trade pullbacks? Do you chase? That needs to be defined in your trading plan. If you don't have one, work on that first, very important. Then you know what you want to trade. This year has certainly moved significantly already. But if we talk about, our third wave expectation up there, essentially, this ideally could take us into the $60 to $70 region, all provided the relevant support levels are holding, okay? So we are still tracking that uptrend. Now that we've broken above the wedge, we'll see if it can maintain the micro support levels. I don't have a very good view of, what the micro count is in this C wave, but it's certainly also here extended. So again, the risk has increased, right? The risk has increased. There are other coins that haven't rallied that much yet, that are still in pullback zones. So I'm just saying. So yeah, I mean, besides, we still track an uptrend. So I always give you the levels against which you can trade higher. And yeah, not much more to add. So I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.